I had this one patient who came in who was shot in the chest. There's all kinds of red flags going off in your mind that the heart could definitely be injured, and sure enough, his blood pressure was dropping. So it was clear that he was really on the verge of dying.
All right, cross clamps on. Some blood in the
That's where you need to get in there rapidly and try and regain that blood pressure back before the brain cells start to die. It's about 4 minutes before that starts to happen in a way that's irreversible. You gotta hold there.
Right ventricle. I'm gonna the hole in the heart.
The atrium we were able to put a clamp on and oversew in the trauma bay, and then the one on the surface of the heart, we gained control just with our finger. Good. So that's the end of the scenario. So the way you did it was perfect. You got it all the way across it. Now, we're using this kind of simulator with just the right amount of being lifelike. It's a perfect setup for simulation, so residents aren't put into situations where they're practicing for the first time on a patient. So I'd rather you just... Probably the most realistic part of the whole model, I think, is the heart. The motion of the heart, whether it gives, whether it doesn't give, whether it's moist or dry, these are all the components of a human body that make it more realistic.
It goes right at the AV group. Mark DeMoya had developed a prototype, and then he wanted to get a higher degree of realism, and so he brought us the project. The Chamberlain Group designs, develops, and manufactures anatomical models for surgical and interventional training. That feeling of a needle traveling through tissue is very subtle. That's the thing that we go after. We're just a bunch of movie people who decided to try to put our energies toward another thing. We spent 15 or 20 years working in movies.
We started with The World According to Garp. We did the special effects rig to swing this baby into frame.
Then we did Eraser with Schwarzenegger. And then The Matrix designed the camera rig to shoot the bullet time effects. It
was 130 still cameras. Whoa.
And it won visual effects, Academy Award for visual effects. And we went out on a high note. That was the last feature we worked on. Right.
In the old days, we sculpted everything. Now we've captured everything digitally. But some of the handwork simply can't be done in the casting or in fabrication. We just have to do it by hand.
When we were in the film business, they behaved as if making mistakes, somebody would die, but of course it wasn't true. Now we're actually doing something where maybe we can help prevent that from happening.
Now, one of the things that you want to consider is if the patient is intubated before you're making your cut, people retain more when their limbic system is engaged a bit. A car accident where you forgot to turn on your blinker, you say to yourself, man, I'm never going to forget that. It's indelible in your mind because of the emotion that was attached to it. And you can inadvertently pull up on that Foley catheter too much and rip the hole. Wow. Making things stick when you're trying to teach it is what we all want. Let me show you something here. See the difference in size there?
Yes.
In trauma, it's always a tragedy type of situation. There's never a planned car accident or a planned gunshot wound. These are always tragic situations, and if they don't get it right, the patient will die.